There comes a moment in life when silence becomes louder than explanation. When your energy whispers, "I'm done," and that's enough. Not out of anger, not from pride, but from something far deeper, the understanding that peace is not a luxury, it's survival. You start to see that not everyone deserves access to your light. That constant proving, explaining, or fixing others only drains the very essence that makes you you. And the moment you stop chasing validation, you begin to protect your peace like it's sacred ground, because it is. You've carried storms that weren't yours to weather. You've stood in rooms where your empathy was currency, traded for the comfort of others. But now, you're learning that boundaries are not walls. They're prayers. They're your way of saying, "I honor myself enough to stay whole." And if this is already hitting something inside you, pause for a second. Breathe. Subscribe, not just to this channel, but to this new version of you. The one who no longer runs toward chaos pretending it's love. Because healing doesn't always look like light and incense. Sometimes it's a locked door. Sometimes it's a quiet no that no one else hears but your soul. And that's where real strength begins. Not in loud forgiveness, but in silent detachment. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop leaking energy into places that no longer grow you. It's not bitterness, it's clarity. When you detach, you stop begging the world to recognize your worth, because you finally do. And that changes everything. Think about how often you've over-explained yourself, hoping they'd finally understand your heart. How many times you've stayed in spaces that bruised your spirit just to avoid being misunderstood. You were taught that kindness means endurance, that love means staying no matter what. But real love, real, sacred love, begins inside. It starts when you say, "I choose peace," even if it costs connection. That's the paradox of awakening. The more you detach, the more you connect, not with others but with truth. You start to realize that energy doesn't lie. When a room feels heavy, your soul already knows. When a person feels off, that's your intuition, not paranoia. And when your heart starts to shrink in someone's presence, that's the universe telling you you're giving too much of yourself away. Protecting your peace is not a selfish act. It's sacred stewardship. It's tending to the flame that keeps your purpose alive. Because peace is not passive. It's a powerful declaration. I refuse to let chaos rent space in my mind. It's choosing stillness over reaction. It's allowing karma and time to handle what your hands no longer need to touch. You can't fix everything. You can't heal everyone. But you can choose to not participate in your own depletion. And that choice is holy. You'll notice something magical when you begin to protect your peace. People who used to drain you will call you distant. Those who relied on your silence will call you cold. But that's not cruelty, it's correction. They were benefiting from your lack of boundaries. Now they're just meeting your truth. You don't have to explain your growth to anyone. Growth, by nature, will offend those who refuse to change. Let them talk. You stay calm. You let peace be your rebellion. Because in a world addicted to reaction, stillness is power. And nothing is more powerful than a soul at rest. So protect your peace like it's sacred, because it is. It's the altar where your higher self meets the divine. Every time you choose peace over drama, silence over argument, withdrawal over chaos, you are expanding. You are proving, not to others, but to your own spirit, that you've learned the art of letting go. And here's the truth. Not everyone will come with you. Some people are chapters, not destinations. And when they end, you bless them. Not because they deserved your forgiveness, but because you deserve your freedom. Protecting your peace doesn't make you cold. It makes you whole. Because wholeness requires space. And sometimes peace looks like distance. Not as punishment, but as preservation. You've been carrying the weight of being misunderstood for far too long. But peace isn't about being understood. It's about being aligned. So the next time someone tries to pull you into a storm, smile gently and remember, you've outgrown the need to fight for what already flows in your favor. Stay calm. Let your absence speak volumes, and watch your peace echo louder than any noise they could make. There's a strange kind of peace that comes when you stop arguing with reality. When you finally accept that some people will never apologize, never see your worth, never understand what you gave. And that's okay, because you're no longer chasing closure. You're choosing peace instead. You learn that not responding is a form of response. Not showing up to every fight you're invited to is strength. You realize that silence doesn't mean weakness. It means wisdom. And every time you stay silent, instead of explaining yourself to someone committed to misunderstanding you, you reclaim a piece of your energy back. See, your peace is sacred because it holds your power. When you're in turmoil, your mind gets noisy. You start reacting, doubting, shrinking to fit in places you've already outgrown. But when you stand in peace, truly stand, you become untouchable. It's not arrogance, it's alignment. Think of peace as your internal frequency. Every time you argue with people who can't meet you there, you're lowering your vibration to prove a point that doesn't matter. And here's the secret: high energy doesn't chase, it attracts. When you move in peace, your energy speaks louder than your words ever could. Most people are addicted to noise, emotional chaos, endless drama, constant validation. So when you step back, when you protect your peace, they'll say you've changed. They're right, you have, because peace changes you. It makes you allergic to anything that costs it. You start to crave quiet mornings, soft people, simple truths. You realize how heavy it used to feel to explain yourself, to prove your kindness, to fix what was never your fault. Now you breathe deeper, you speak less, you observe more. The real flex isn't attention, it's serenity. It's walking away without resentment. It's wishing people well and meaning it. It's knowing that karma doesn't need your supervision. It has perfect timing. And while others are tangled in proving who's right, you're busy being free. You'll begin to notice how peace refines your circle. Not everyone can sit with your silence. Some need your chaos to feel alive, your reaction to feel relevant. But you're learning to let the noise pass through you, not live inside you. You'll find that the more peaceful you become, the less you need to explain. Peace is its own explanation. The hardest part of detachment isn't leaving, it's staying gone. Because peace requires consistency. You can't heal in the same space that broke you, and you can't protect your light if you keep handing it to those who only stand in your sun to steal its warmth. It's okay to be misunderstood. It's okay to walk away mid-conversation when your soul feels tired. You don't owe anyone access to your energy. Your peace is sacred real estate. Not everyone gets to live there. And here's what they don't tell you about healing. It's not always soft. Sometimes it's lonely. Sometimes it's quiet and strange and full of days when you question everything. But even in that discomfort, peace is forming, and like a slow sunrise after a long night. And one morning, you wake up and realize you don't feel heavy anymore. That's how you know you've detached. You stopped begging for closure. You stopped explaining your worth. You stopped showing up to your own depletion. And now all that's left is stillness. Stillness doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means everything is aligning. Your spirit knows. Your peace is doing more for you than all your words ever could. Because when you protect your peace, life starts to respond differently. People treat you differently. Opportunities feel lighter. Love flows easier. And your reflection, it looks calmer, stronger, like someone who finally remembered who they are. You'll reach a point where peace stops being something you chase and becomes who you are. It's not a mood anymore. It's a frequency. You'll walk into rooms and people will feel it before you speak, because peace radiates. It glows quietly, like light through stained glass. Steady, soft, unshakable. When you protect your peace, you stop moving from impulse and start moving from intention. You no longer react, you respond. You no longer seek to convince, you understand. And that's the shift, from chaos to clarity, from noise to knowing. The truth is, you can't save everyone. Some people don't want healing. They want attention, and sometimes love means letting them walk their own path, even if it means watching them from afar. Because love without peace is not love. It's attachment dressed as care. You've spent too long trying to prove your light to those who preferred the dark. Now it's time to shine, not to be seen, but to stay warm. Peace becomes your compass, your filter, your guide. It tells you where to stay, when to speak, and most importantly, when to leave. The universe rewards detachment, not because you've stopped caring, but because you've stopped controlling. When you release your grip, life can finally move. Opportunities find you. People align with you. You become a magnet for everything meant for your vibration. That's the secret nobody tells you. Detachment isn't giving up, it's giving in to trust, to timing, to the divine choreography of what's meant to unfold. So when someone asks why you're quieter now, why you stopped arguing, why you're not explaining yourself anymore, tell them this. Because peace became more important than being understood. Your silence isn't weakness, it's sacred. Your distance isn't avoidance, it's preservation. Your calm isn't indifference, it's evolution. The old you would have reacted, the new you observes. The old you tried to fix everything, the new you understands that not everything broken was yours to mend. And when you live like that, from peace, not from pain, your life starts to change shape. Things that used to hurt stop finding you. People who used to test you stop reaching you. It's not magic. It's energy. What you no longer feed fades. Remember this, peace doesn't demand attention. It simply is. It doesn't announce itself. It settles in softly, like a prayer answered. And once you've felt it, truly felt it, you'll protect it like oxygen. Because without it, you can't breathe. So the next time someone tries to pull you into drama, breathe before you answer. Ask yourself, is this worth my peace? If the answer is no, let silence be your response. If the answer is yes, let love guide your words. That's all you ever need to remember. Peace is not passive, it's presence. And presence is power. When your peace becomes sacred, life becomes lighter. You start walking differently, softer, yet surer. You smile for no reason. You find beauty in simplicity. And suddenly, nothing external can shake what's rooted in your soul. That's when you know you've arrived. Not in a new place, but in yourself. Protect that. Protect your peace. It's your soul's sanctuary. If these words found you, if something inside whispered yes, stay close. Not just here, but to this kind of energy. Because every time you choose peace, you choose life. And that's what we do here. We remember who we are. One breath, one truth, one sacred boundary at a time. Subscribe, stay close, and keep walking with us. This is Human Wave, where silence heals, truth returns, and souls remember their power.